till we die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They elevated us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When the not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out for that, I never switch, I never switch. I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist,
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Cincinnati Bengals. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready? 250. Minus 59. Minus 59. Too little, cut.
On 1st and 10, Stafford dumps it off to Mixon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Just inside the 30.
Switch up.
Stafford completes this one to Meredith. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Second and 12 at the 29-yard line.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Early in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down. Back to Mixon on 1st down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati 1st down. Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
22!
Stafford. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Out Out of the gun, Stafford. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six for a Bengals TD. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Back to throw here. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Intercepted. The Bengals take over first and 10.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that'll help set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
There goes a deep. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. John Ross, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 21 yards there on 3rd down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Got his man. That's the Pro Bowler Julio Jones. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, it's a run for Freeman. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Another example right there how this defense... And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Nikel Roby-Coleman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football. Charles, now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
10 yards there on a Bengal 1st. Now Joe Mixon. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Stafford. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Let's go, D, let's go.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree, Tony.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Carl Lawson racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll drop the throw. Looking downfield for Godwin. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through the...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Throwing again, Stafford. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To the air again, Stafford. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Von Miller. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series. And
he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Von Miller able to record his 5th sack of the season. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Flush to his right. Finding some room at midfield. He completes it to Jones. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Going for the deep ball. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Receive, they have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to... And now here is another interception. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Stafford escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down. Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes the score 28-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Gets it off to Freeman. And he'll be out right at the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Geno Atkins able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
2nd and long. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. That one good for 24 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. The last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Here we go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
50 to Mike. 50 to Mike. Let's go, baby.
Now back to throw. It's caught. Jones. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And now here's another interception. Picked off near the 34. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Given up a lot of points in this game, but looked better on that play. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run on 1st down. Mixon, they're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. they're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. It's a 6-yard pickup to get them back to the original line of scrimmage with 3rd down coming up. Throwing is Stafford. He's going to go for it all. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When we talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Freeman. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And a Falcon 1st down.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They go play action here on 1st down. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Back to throw. Rolling to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
Great coverage there. Holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 7 at the 11-yard line.
They'll go again to Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it third down and 10. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense through the shutout, Adam, I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Cincinnati, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-.